everybody. My name is Dr. Latinia Shell, and I am a native Lancastrian. Grew up in the city of Lancaster, graduated from McCaskey High School, went on to Millersville University, received a bachelor's degree in psychology and a master's degree in counselor education, then continued and pursued a doctorate degree and received my doctorate in counseling psychology from Argosy University. Let's see, that was in 2011. So fast forward, I always knew that I wanted to have a private practice. It was my goal to be able to do so, to be able to give back to my community. So what year was it? 2007 is when I actually got my private practice incorporated and became Diversity Works. But it wasn't until 2013 when I actually opened the doors and began to see clients in my private practice. I started out down at BASE, which is an incubator for minority folks of color starting out in their private practice, in their businesses rather. And I was there for about 2 years. I then relocated, had a small private practice on James Street, and currently I am here at the Candy Factory, which I am loving being a part of. So that's just a little bit about how Diversity Works has evolved. Currently I have a group practice. It is myself as the owner, and I have 3 other associates who work with me. So I'm happy to be here. My areas of specialty really evolve around multicultural counseling, working with diverse and marginalized populations, working with issues of racial trauma, working with women in transition. In fact, I do a monthly support group at one of the local shelters here in Lancaster. That is very important to me. Also working with issues of depression, anxiety, grief and loss, number of mental health areas. So in terms of, do people value mental health over physical health? I definitely feel like this is an area that is evolving. I feel like in the past that definitely was not the case. However, currently I feel like in areas such as the Olympics, professional sports and athletes, I feel like there is more attention that is now being given to the mental and psychological aspects of things. So I think we're evolving. However, I do feel like we still have a ways to go. One of the things that really impressed me is that I was just at my PCP for my physical, and they actually gave me a mental health screening. So I do feel like we are bridging that gap in terms of even physicians understanding and knowing the importance of mental health. So to answer your question, I feel like we are evolving. However, I do feel like we still have a long ways to go. Yeah, there are a lot of barriers. I feel like that people experience in terms of receiving mental health care. One of those barriers is insurance. I do feel like a lot of clients who come to me struggle with that. Either they don't have insurance or their insurance has high deductibles. So even if they were to receive services, they still have to pay a large amount of money out of pocket. I do feel like in the field there are a shortage of clinicians of color. I get a lot of prospective clients wanting to seek services from me specifically because I'm African American. So I definitely think that that is a barrier. The stigma alone, you know, especially in communities of color, where, you know, it may not be culturally speaking, it may not be something that, you know, they're used to doing. Maybe it's something that they feel like they should keep privately in the family or talk to a pastor. But I do feel like that is improving, but it's certainly still a barrier. I think there are a number of things that we can do collectively to improve our mental health. And first and foremost, I would say self-care, you know, just taking care of yourself, knowing what it is that you need for you, doing things in various domains such as your social and emotional health, making sure that you're connecting with others, especially during this pandemic. It can be very lonely and isolating, but just making sure that, you know, we're keeping those connections. Also physical health, making sure to get exercise and to get those good endorphins released to help us to feel good. Also spiritual and religious areas, whatever that may be, whether it's meditating, whether it's praying, whether it's going to church, but just somehow connecting with a higher force outside of yourself. Yeah, so I think it's just looking at the whole person and figuring out what plan will work best for that individual. Yeah, so Black History Month is important to me because I feel like as a people, you really don't know where you're going until you know where you're coming from. And so, as my shirt states here, proud of my roots, I think that Black History Month is all about getting to know about, our history, our ancestors, everything that everyone has done to pave the way for us today and what we're doing. So, Black History Month, is something that is very important and special to me. And it's actually something that I think that we should be celebrating every day, 365 days of the year. But, I'll take it. February is our month to really hone in and just reflect upon how far we've gone and also just knowing how much further we have to go. So that's why Black History Month is important to me, and I'm proud to be able to make a difference here in my community with the business and counseling services that I offer, not only for my people who are African American, but for everybody.